Hi, this is Tim Goodwin, Executive Director of Community First School. And the Board of Directors and I are very excited to be able to share this presentation with you today. We'd like to give you sort of a report on 2020 and some of the successes we've had over the last 4 months since opening in August. So I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to screen share right now and give you an opportunity to view with me Moving Ahead with Miracles. And the reason we've entitled it that is because when you look at the smiling faces on these children, you can sort of vision with me just how miraculous this year has been. We opened in August in the middle of the pandemic, and we have had just a phenomenal 4 months. And when you see some of the data I'm about to present, I think you'll understand why we chose the title that we did. I don't want to move forward, though, without saying that this picture is very representative of where we're headed. This is the climbing tree. It was named that by our students. It's a tree on one of the nature trails in Keeney Park that we hike often. And the goal is to get our children out into their environment, to let them see how beautiful their environment is. If they value their environment, the place that they live, then they can better value themselves. Secondly, they can come up with experiences that they might not receive in a traditional school, and those outside experiences can then help them connect the learning when they're in the classroom. So this first slide is very important to sort of everything we're going to talk about today. So let's get started, shall we? In order to understand where we are now, I think it's important to look at where we've come from. This design was birthed in 2015. I had worked in education for 30 years at the time and was really looking to try to figure out how we could overcome this issue of generational academic or miseducation of children. 85% of the students in North Hartford are not on grade level. Some of them significantly below, and that has to stop. We met with a group of community folks and said, how do we design a school that can truly meet the needs of the students that we serve? That could be more about the context of those served than the content of the national curriculums that were being given. So in 2017, we wrote a concept paper. We got our 501c3 established that we could accept donations, and we looked at the charter school route. It wasn't working for us. We were denied the charter. We were told there was already a couple charter schools in North Hartford, and there wasn't room for another one. And so we sort of felt like maybe this isn't going to work out for us. The pendulum was swinging in the states away from the charter school and magnet school movement, and so we thought, maybe we're not going to be able to do this. But then in November of 2018, we met at the Keeney Park Pond House. A large group of community folks came out, and they said, please don't stop. Keep this momentum. Just do it a different way. And maybe we could do it smaller, but more autonomous. It also meant a challenge financially, because when you have a charter school, the state provides about $11,000 per student to help run that school. In a traditional public school, it's around $15,000 per student. When you're on your own and independent, it's $0 per student, which meant we had to fundraise all of the money to kick off our school. 2019 was about fundraising. We raised enough to feel confident in opening in August, and so that's what we did. We also formed a lease with Community Solutions on the Swift Factory campus on Garden Street and Love Lane, and I'll tell you what, it's just been a beautiful place to operate a school. The city of Hartford helped us get a zoning variance for the building we wanted to be in at 50 Love Lane. And in August of 2020, we opened for 11 students in the middle of a pandemic in a beautiful building. And you'll see some of the results here in just a minute. I also want to draw your attention to the bottom left picture, because we had parents in our building from the time it was a shell, building those key relationships, helping them vision with us what their children were going to be part of in the very near future. I want to get into some of the data now, some of the things that we've done that are different that I think are having a huge impact in the lives of children. This is one of our students at one of our raised bed gardens. They're working on worm composting with a volunteer here. And this young man has just placed some worms. They're putting some dirt over them to keep them cool in what is our organic kale raised bed. But it doesn't just start there. We've made 34 trips into the field since August. We have partnerships with Ebony Horsewomen, Two Coyotes, the Keeney Park Sustainability Project, and the YMCA. Our students are out in the environment, in their community, making a difference. Most importantly, it provides a broad range of experiences that can be drawn on when learning, not just science, but also English, math, and social studies. This slide goes into our individualized approach to learning. Every student has an individualized learning plan. We have goals for every student and every family as to where we want them to be at certain increments in the year, so by the end of the year, they're on grade level. Currently, we have 8 kindergartners, 3 first graders. All of them can count to 20. 4 of our students can count to 100 by 1s, 5s, and 10s. All of our students can recite the alphabet and their letter sounds, and we have 6 students who are reading at grade level. 1 student who is far above grade level, and she has just taken off from the beginning of the year, but our program is working. This next slide shows the importance of our relationship-based and whole family care approach. Learning can't take place unless basic needs are being met. We provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner to every student. We had 2 family dinner nights. We wanted to have more, but with the pandemic going on, we had to scale those back. We've had every family attend, however. Our teacher does bi-weekly individualized emails to parents. And we have a partnership with Build a Better You Behavioral Services. They're right on the Swift Factory campus with us. 9 of our 11 families are participating with them. They provide social, emotional well-being support to families, which is essential in creating a learning environment that's trusting and caring. Of course, we're called Community First. We're Community First School, and that means the entire community is needed in order to best educate our children. We don't just say it. We actually provide opportunities for the community to be involved. Our after-school programs go from 4 to 5. We're open from 7:30 to 5 every day. They include karate, dance, art, and physical education. In these pictures, you can see how involved we are with the community. The top left is one of our board members, Alex Thomas, working with 2 students, helping them read. He also provides support through his connection to the YMCA on Albany Ave. Tim Fraylon and Ford Unity CT come every Monday after school. Tim is connected with the state police, and they did a trunk or treat for us around the Halloween holiday. Of course, Tim is right there in that Santa suit in the upper right. Career Resources, Inc. provided toys and food for a holiday party event, which all of our parents and families attended. And of course, Tim had the opportunity to give gifts to our children out of Santa's bag, which is very exciting. In the bottom left corner is another one of our students working on a beehive that was provided by a Keeney Park Sustainability Project. We started with ants in the fall to help think about community. We're working with honeybees now to help us think about family, and we'll go into metamorphosis and butterflies and self-growth as we go into the spring. But we can't do it without our volunteers. We have over 50 volunteers. Some deliver lunches during the day. Some provide teacher support and professional development services. Others help with our classroom setup. Almost every supply in our building has been provided by volunteers. They support through reading partners and family events. It is such a blessing to have families and community a part of this school. We cannot do it alone, and it means everything to us to have that support. The last 2 slides are very simple. We want to hit our next steps. Yes, we're starting now with kindergarten and first grade. We want to add a new kindergarten class next year of at least 15 students. We want to be close to capacity next year with 30 students. Once the pandemic is prayerfully over, we'll be able to expand what we're doing now. We do need to hire another teacher. Our budget right now is about $225,000. You might say, how do you run a school on such a small budget? Well, it's donations, it's volunteers, it's sweat equity, really. And we're just so thankful for the donations that have come in, but we do need some more. We've got to get that budget up to close to $270,000 in order to hire that new teacher and meet our additional needs. So we need your support. If you're interested in supporting what we're doing at Community First School, there will be an opportunity. There's a link down below that you can see underneath these pictures. There'll be an opportunity to donate, and I'll explain that in just a couple seconds. But I don't want to miss the pictures of our teacher, Ms. Watts, born and raised right here in the Hartford area, attended worship here in the Hartford area, fully understands the area that we're serving, loves our children to death. And you see her here just doing a great job with one of our students on a geometry project on top. We're making organic lasagna on the bottom left. And Gwen Samuel was kind enough to have a float come by, a book donation, and the kids were very excited to see Olaf and the Minion just a couple weeks ago at the holiday event. So we'll continue our partnership with CCSU to build out a curriculum that's authentic and directed specifically at the families we serve. And of course, our largest goal is to take the data that we get, the data you've seen here, there'll be so much more of in the spring, and use this to advance our model as one that can get results in traditionally underserved urban neighborhoods, so that not only Hartford can be supported by this style of learning, but we can do it in other urban areas in the state. So if you're interested, if you want to dare to imagine with us, please, here's the link, communityfirst.org/donate/. If you click that link, you'll come right to our donation page, and you can support us as we get into the end of the year and celebrate this Christmas holiday. I ask that you think about supporting Community First School. One of our goals is to have individual donors who can be a real support to us, that will help strengthen us at the foundational level, weekly, monthly, yearly. And what that does is it helps us to go out to foundations and corporations and say, look at the support that we have. Please add to it so we can sustain our school over the long haul, continue to bring students in, continue to prepare them so when they leave us, they're on track to graduate from high school, to go into the schools and be leaders. This is what we're looking to do. And then again, ultimately, we want to impact education throughout the region and the state, the Hartford region and the state. So again, thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure to share some time with you over the holidays. I pray that you will have a safe, a healthy, and a happy holiday season, and that you will think about an end of the year gift to Community First School, so that as a larger, broader community, we can continue to support our children and families here in North Hartford. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays to everyone, Kwanzaa, everyone who is in the community and looking to help our children. We can't do it without you. Have a blessed day, and thank you for listening.